If you're going to follow the path that your parents followed, you're not going to ever become rich. You need modern ways to make money, modern wealth creation. The wealth creation methods that you're going to hear from older people simply don't work anymore.
Such as property?
Yeah, property. I mean, of course, the old guy is going to sit there and go, save your money, put it in a savings account, get a mortgage. Bro, of course that worked for you. You were putting money in a savings account, getting 4% interest. Yeah. Now they won't even give us 1%. You're putting your money in a savings account. You bought a house for 85 grand. Now it's worth $500,000. And at the time you bought it for 85 grand, you were probably earning 30 grand a year.
Yeah.
Now I'm earning 40 grand a year. The house has cost 10 times more. I get no interest on my money. So everything you're telling me is outdated. It doesn't work anymore. If you're going to follow the path that your parents followed, you're not going to ever become rich. You need modern ways to make money, modern wealth creation. And I won't say what all 18 are, but we teach them inside of Hustlers University because there are ways to make money in the modern world, which no one in your school is going to teach you, which none of the older people are going to know, they're going to talk about. There's a lot of ways to do it. And one of them is monetizing attention. So what you just said in regards to the affiliate section is one of the 18 ways. There's a 16-year-old kid making 45 grand a month from his TikTok because all he's done is he's gone into Hustlers University, he's joined. You say, okay, how do I get attention? I'm 16. I'm not a flawless orator. I don't have a life or life experiences which are interesting enough to be used in a podcast, which are going to ever allow people to pay attention to me. Yep. But Tate does. So let me go and find all of Tate's old stuff. Let me chop it up. Let me make a TikTok for Tate. That gets attention. How do I monetize attention? Now people are on my page. How do I monetize it? Well, I can take my referral link. I'm in HU. Here, they can sign up, get 50% off my link. Boom. So he's taking attention. The attention that I generated, all he's done is chop up some TikTok clicks, monetized it, and he's making 45 grand a month, do 16.
That's mad.
Bro, so like it's crazy. So there's so much money that can be made, but you have to find a way to get attention in the first place, right? That's the hard part. And if you look at a lot of companies, so many of them have huge profit margins, but they have to spend all their money on advertising to sell any product, and then the margin gets wrecked because they have to get attention the old-fashioned way, which is advertising. And that's a very expensive way to get attention. You need to find another way now. And it's difficult. That is the only hurdle between being broke and being a billionaire. Attention. How do you get it without embarrassing yourself and being a jackass? Because no one buys from a clown, right? Mm-hmm. So me, I'm lucky because I've had a very, very eclectic life, and I'm good at speaking, and I have a good memory, and I have a lot of stories, and I can sit and tell people, and I can talk in a way that make people know I know what I'm talking about. So that's how I get attention, right? Yeah. But if you don't even have that, then it's difficult. It's hard. You got to find a way.
Yeah.
But there's a time when it comes to work smart, and most people are trying to do the smart work before they do the hard work. It's kind of like talent, right? You don't notice if you're talented at something until all the hard work's done.
Yep.
I could be the most talented tennis player in the world, but I don't play tennis. So if I go down the tennis court, Joe Schmo's going to smoke me. I don't get to see my talent until I've worked so hard that I'm in the top 1%, and now I'm beating them because I have some God-given gift.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You have to do the hard work first. If there's no hard work, there's no smart work. So someone's going to sit there and go, I work smart, I don't work hard, so I only have to work an hour a day. If working smart gets you a lot done in an hour a day, then you should work smart for 12 hours a day and get 12 times the work done. I am absolutely and utterly a believer in hard work. I'm a proponent of hard work. I have all this money and all I do is work. My entire life is work. This podcast is work. I'm getting in the car, I'm going to another meeting, work. I'm going to fuck a bitch. That's work. She's going to be on my arm at the fucking Cannes at the film festival. That's more credibility. I consider it work to fuck her. That's work. I'm going to go to the gym so I'm in good shape. Work. It's all work. My entire life is work. And people don't want to look at life that way. They want to talk about work-life balance and being lazy and all this crap. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in if you want to win, you have to outcompete the man who's prepared to do nothing but work. It's player versus player. If you're going to sit there and go, I don't want to work more than an hour a day, well, the guy who does want to work more than an hour a day is going to beat you. And no matter how smart you are, there's always a smart dude who's doing the same smart work you are for more hours than you're doing it. That's just the nature of the game. And this is why we talk about things like passive income. Passive income's a fucking scam. I'm tired of people coming to me saying, I want to make passive income. And I sit there and say,
what methods of passive income would you say is a scam?
It's not about it being a scam. It's about the mentality towards it is a scam. Look, everyone loves passive money, right? I make money as I sleep. Yep. I get it. You need to de-link your time to your money, because if you're only working for money, you run out of time, you can't make enough money. I understand all those principles. My point is, if you have no money and you're coming to me saying, I want to make passive income, why are you not making active income? Get up off your ass and work first. Because there's no such thing as completely, truly 100% passive. You're going to have to check on it. You have to maintain it. You're gonna have to find a new tenant for that property. You're gonna have to make sure that DeFi crypto farm you're in doesn't go to zero. It's not a rug pull.
Yeah.
You're always gonna have to keep an eye on it, right? But the idea that people with no money are already so concerned with making money without work is amazing to me. You should be worried about active income. If you show me, if I'm a brokey, and you show me how to make $1,000 an hour, I don't sit there and go, okay, but how can I make that passive? I go, cool, I'm making $18,000 a day because I'm gonna work. Dude, you don't need to worry about passive income until you have no more time. I look at passive income because I have 18 hours a day I work. When all 18 of those hours are done and my workload still isn't finished, I have to find a way to make some of those income streams passive, either via staff or whatever else.
Yep.
And that's how I work smart. I use all of my time, and when all my time is done, now I have to become more efficient so that I can get more done within the same time frame. To sit there and say, I don't want to use my time, so I want passive income is dumb shit. The 16-year-old making 45 grand a month, if he was to sit to me and go, I don't want to make the TikToks, I want someone else to do it, make it passive, that he wouldn't be making any money. He's just working. You have to just work. At some point you have to bite the bullet and just work. So when someone comes to me talking about passive income and they're a brokey, I'm like, you are just lazy. You are lazy. You will never get anywhere. Lazy people never get anywhere in life. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's tennis or money. If you're lazy, you're never going to get. People is they're quitters. I can't stand quitters. We have a thing inside Hustlers University. If someone unsubscribes, I ban them.
Is it?
Yeah, you're not allowed to rejoin.
Yeah.
And they email me like, oh, sorry, I had a problem with my card. I want to rejoin. I don't need members. I got money. I do not need your membership. I do not need you. It's not a business where we need you. You need us, right? So if you're the kind of person who's going to quit because it's hard, then fuck off. I don't even want your energy around me, because quitters are the worst people on the planet. You can give a quitter absolutely everything and they will still fail. You can give it, doesn't matter what it is. If you go to IKEA and buy a flat pack fucking table and put it in front of a quitter, you will never have a table. He'll look at it, it's just long, and he'll quit. Quitters can have every single advantage. Quitters can have all the information. Quitters can have all the tutelage. Quitters can have a mentorship. Quitters can have someone who messages them every morning, hey bro, let's get it. And guess what they're gonna do at the end? Quit. They ain't never gonna have shit. So if you're a quitter, I don't even want you even inside my organization. I don't want quitters anywhere near me, because you're never gonna be successful. And the people who join and then quit because they had to do an hour's work are the people who come along and go, take this, maybe it's a scam. Idiots, peons. They will stay brokies and wagies forever. Leave them there, right? You need the people who don't quit. I don't quit. Every single facet of my life is testament to the fact that I don't quit. When people see my plane in the sky, you can say whatever you want about me. You can call me arrogant. You can call me anything you want, but you cannot call me a quitter. I didn't quit. So that's the difference. When it was hard, I did it anyway. That's who I've always been. And if you don't have that kind of tenacity, you're never going to be anything. So the people who come along and talk about passive income, they sound like quitters to me. They sound like people who don't want to work. I love work. I'm ready to work. I'll dig a hole. Bro, you offer me $1 billion right now and give me a shovel, I'll dig a hole. I don't give a fuck. Give me the shovel, give me the money. I will dig a hole. I'm not afraid of work now. But anyone who has a brain, who wants to go and find out, you will find out that all this green agenda they're pushing has nothing to do with the environment. All this gay stuff they're pushing has nothing to do with gay people. It's all to do with control. The people who are in charge of the world want more control. If they gave a shit about global warming and rising sea levels, why does every single multimillionaire and billionaire buy a house on the beach? It's the first place they buy their mansion. I thought we're all going to drown next year. Bollocks, bro. It's a lie. It's all a lie. They don't care. But by saying that, now there's carbon credits, carbon limits. You can't drive your car past 8 p.m. because of the environment. You can't eat meat anymore because of the environment. Stay home, eat the bugs, be a slave, be a slave, be a slave. Every single government in the world is interested in control. That's all they've ever wanted. That's all they ever want more of. Governments want control. They want to control their populace. They think of us as sheep. We're cattle to them. They want us to comply. They don't want our individuality. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They want us to just sit there and obey like robots. So every single one of them is slowly inching, day by day, pushing the limits, taking as much control as they can from the people to the people who revolt. And if they do it slowly and incrementally, they get away with the law. And that's what they're doing. And they're all inching towards communism, which is what they want in the end, because communism is the governmental system that allows us the most control over the world. People sit there and go, oh no, the governments don't want communism. The governments want free enterprise because governments want money and governments want everyone to be rich and they want people to be wealthy. This is beyond money. The people in charge of the world print the money. They don't care about money. They don't care about economies. They don't care about taxes. All these things are brokey considerations. When you print the money, do you think you give a shit if the economy is good or bad? You print the money. You don't care. What you care about is when you click your fingers, do people obey you? That's what they want. They want power. There's a lot of people who talk about passive income, and we'll talk about passive income because I think that's the biggest scam on the planet. The idea of passive income in and of itself, where the most valuable currency, the most valuable thing that exists is just new. Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar. Shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. If you're at a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. Yeah. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I'm going to university. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. So I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well, if you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. They teach you things that the problem is as well, it's difficult because the way that humans work and the way that we've evolved as a species is that we don't really learn lessons unless they're learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I believe that unless a lesson has taught the hard way, you're not going to learn it. You can have so many near misses and people won't learn their lesson. Bro, you must know a guy who goes out there, nearly crashes his car, doesn't slow his ass down till he wrecks it.
Yeah.
Like, this is how people are, right? So you need that pain for the lesson to sting enough to really genuinely go inside of your mind. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with driving a car or business. Truthfully, if you want to learn a lesson about business, you're going to have to suffer at some point, right? So we always say that most people are not successful with their first companies, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. I get that. The truth is there's a lot of people who make a lot of money with their first company, but they just spunk it, act an idiot, and it all blows up in their face. And that's how you get the discipline on your fourth company, that when you have 3 million in the bank, you just leave it there. You know, and don't be done with it. So you need to go through some pain. You need to experience some negative things. You need to have to a degree some trauma to really even learn any lessons. So yeah, business studies, you're right. The book, that's not going to teach you anything about business. You need to get out there on the streets. You need to make mistakes. You need to suffer. You need to have the tax man knocking at your door. You got to deal with all that stuff so that you make sure it doesn't happen again. I really think that humans are stupid enough to only learn the hard way. That's kind of how it works. Yeah. There's a lot of people who talk about passive income, and we'll talk about passive income because I think that's the biggest scam on the planet. The idea of passive income in and of itself is a lie.
You're the first person on the podcast to say that.
bro. Yeah, no, like everyone goes, I want passive income. Well, of course you do. Everyone wants passive income, but tell me how you're going to get it, because having tenants is not passive income. Ask anybody who has tenants. It's fucking headache, right? Yeah. If I have a house XYZ, I got to make sure it's looked after, not broken into, the electricity's on, it's cleaned. I got to get someone on the ground. My assistant's got to deal with it. Now it's just got to be something to deal with. And once I got a bunch of money, what I really wanted more than anything was freedom. There's a bunch of these real high-level crypto guys, like the guys who invented Ethereum and all that, the autistic guys. They don't own anything. And I kind of get that. I'm at the point now where they have a backpack of their possessions, and if they want a house, they rent it. They want a Lambo, they rent it. If I need to go somewhere, rent. I don't own anything. I don't have any hassle. Nothing's in my name. No government can take anything from me. You get to a point of wealth where you kind of start thinking, do I want to have all this crap now I got to deal with? Really, you want peace of mind. And I have enough troubles in my head. I don't need to be worried about my mansion in Santa Monica, which has been broken into, and I don't even go there. Do you know what I mean? It's just long. So that's that. And then also what I was saying earlier about property being a tool to the matrix. If you buy a $10 or $20 million property under a government, you can't piss that government off. You can't disagree with that government. You can't, if the tax authority of that government says you owe them money, you better fucking pay it, or you're gonna lose a house, right? Yeah. If they say you better take an injection in your arm for the good of society, you better take your vaccine. You better put your mask on. You can't even get a parking ticket, my G. Listen, if I'm in England right now, I don't own any assets in England, right? And I pull up in the DBS. Have you ever seen James Bond look for parking? Me neither. No, fuck no. He parks up and gets out. That's what I do. Park up, boom, get out. I don't look for parking. They put a ticket on the DBS. Let's say I decide not to pay that, right? What are they going to do? I don't have any assets in the UK. They're going to make a bunch of letters, send it to a bailiff. Bailiff's going to drive around the UK. I don't even live here. Boom, it's over, right? If I had a 20 million pound house Eventually, it's going to go, the 60 pound becomes 120, 120 becomes 240.
Yeah,
bailiff comes, $2,000, $3,000, boom, boom, boom. Gets to the point where they're going to take my 20 million pound house off me. Maybe it take 3 years, but they will, over a parking ticket. So by buying that property, you're now giving you're giving the government a way to hurt you. You're giving them a leverage over you. And I'm at the point of wealth now. I have enough hidden money where I don't want any government to have any leverage over me. I want a government to say, Andrew, we don't like you. And me say, get fucked. Trying to find people around you who you can truly actually trust is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult, man. I'm telling you, if you get 20 people, 20 full grown men in a room, and they can trust each other completely and nobody's out to snake anyone. Even if all 20 are working normal jobs, but they pool their spare income, you will be rich. You'll be fine. The problem is finding 20 people you can trust, right? 20 people with normal jobs, even with normal jobs, you could pool your spare income. You could buy cryptocurrencies, you could buy houses, you could do whatever you want to do, and you would find a way to escape the matrix. At least, maybe not to the insane levels, but you'd all be comfortable, right? By just pooling incomes. Problem is, one of them 20 is going to snake you. One of them 20, his woman's going to leave him, and he's going to get fucked over, and you're going to get fucked over by extension. Or one of them 20, his wife will be in her ear, you're always out with them boys, you can't be with them anymore, the woman gets involved, starts messing it all up. So it's hard. A lot of people don't understand that the entire world, the most valuable thing on the planet today is human capital. Even the people at the very, very top echelons of life, all they care about is controlling people. The people who are in charge of governments and stuff, all they care about is controlling people, making sure you do what they want you to do. I don't want to get too political and talk about Epstein's Island and all that crap, but once you get to a certain level of money, all they want is people. People are the most important thing. You can't have a business without people. You can't have a government without people. You don't have anything without people. So I don't see why you wouldn't have the people you're born with, who share blood with, and just do a handshake as men and say, okay, let's not fuck each other over, let's get rich. Because now you're doubling your manpower, right? You're doubling up. So I think that I was always close with my brother and he's always been close with me because we are a team, and you need to have a team. And if you have a team, you stand a better chance. It's player versus player out here, man. It's on the street. It's not easy. For every dollar you make, for every pound you take, you took it from someone else. You don't make money, you take money. People don't understand the way that money works. You're not the Federal Reserve. You can't create money from thin air. Every single pound in your bank is money you took from someone else. And when I say take, I don't mean it in a negative way. You might have convinced them to give it to you. You might have a coffee shop. I'll give you a nice coffee. You'll give me some money. Cool. But you still took his money, right? So if you're out here trying to take stuff from other people, don't you want to have a team? You want to do it by yourself? You want to be Rambo?
Because if you get two of you doing it.
You get two of you. That's right. So the whole idea of this lone soldier, this Rambo, I'll do it all by myself, that's all dead, bro. You need to have a team. It's player versus player. And for the same reason, if you were out here on the street and you want to defend yourself, you want your boys around you. It's the same thing with trying to get rich. The problem is trying to find guys on your level. That's the hard part, right? But women don't need money. This is the thing. I mean, there are women out there who say they need to get the bag and all this crap. I think it's a very masculine mindset for a female to have. Women don't really need money, not to the extent a man needs money. I mean, I understand they need to live, and they say it's expensive to get their nails done, blah, blah, blah. But they don't need a nice car. They don't need a nice place to even live. They don't need to pay for bottle bills or table spends or none of these things. They don't need any of that if they're attractive. So being attractive in and of itself is a currency. I don't know if this idea of ugly even then is warped, because let's say a girl, right, goes to the gym every day. Her body is banging. Her hair is long and it's nice and it's maintained. Her nails are done. She's got a nice manicure. She's got sunglasses on. She's dressed up nice. She's got a little dress on. She's got heels on. She's walking down the street. It's hard to be ugly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might only be a 6, but you're all right. Like, dudes still want you.
Still bangable.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's very hard as a chick to become unbangable if you're trying your best.
Unless you fully give up.
Unless you give up. So I think the path because we have to not conflate and confuse issues here. What we're actually talking about is status. We're not talking about money. We're talking about status. Men want money because we want to be high status males. Females want to be high status females. They don't need money to do that. They can do that purely through their aesthetics. So if I was a woman, thank God I'm not, because I think that'd be a terrible existence. But if I was a woman, I would understand, okay, I want to be the highest status female I can. I need to look good. I need to look gorgeous and get a banging Instagram profile. I'm a high status now. Now billionaires want to talk to me. For a billionaire to want to talk to us, we need money. I still very much understood any business I'm going to launch from now on out, I need to find a way to get attention. Not in a negative way, not in an attention-seeking way, but that's what advertising is.
How do you get yourself out there?
Yeah, how do I get attention in the world today, which is difficult? And then once I get that attention, how do I monetize it?
Yeah.
Because that's the world we now live in. Rihanna, when she launches a makeup brand, no one buys it because of the makeup. They buy it because it's Rihanna. She has attention. She can monetize it any way she chooses. Rihanna can launch a fucking clothing brand, makeup, sofas. Who cares? It's Rihanna.
Yeah.
She's going to sell, right? So that proves that we now live in an economy. We live in a world where the most valuable currency, the most valuable thing that exists is attention. It's extremely difficult to get because people's attention spans are lower than ever. I can't imagine truly wanting to quit something and not being able to quit. Like I could quit cigars today. Like it wouldn't even plague my mind. Like if I wanted to quit, I'd quit. I can't imagine a mind frame or a mindset where I want to do something and can't do it. Life is hierarchical. There's always going to be kings and there's always going to be peasants. If you have a mind that you can't control, then you're never going to be a king. You're going to be a peasant. That's your life. You have a peasant's life ahead of you and that's your destiny. Enjoy, right? There's always been peasants. That's life. But I believe that the most important thing you can do as a man is to gain control of your mind. Once you have control of your mind, life is so ridiculously easy. It's so ridiculously easy. It's so easy to be in. People say to me, Tate, you're in good shape, but all you do is drink vodka and travel the world. You're never even home. You never even have a gym. How do you do it? It's ridiculously easy if you control your mind. If I decide to do 1,000 push-ups, I'll do them. Maybe I have to do them one at a time. Maybe I'll get tired. Maybe I need a break. I'm going to do 1,000 because I said I'm going to do 1,000. It's not fucking hard. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Once you control your mind, it's easy, right? Getting over a breakup with that bitch. You miss that girl, you're upset, you miss her with all your heart, da-da-da. But once you realize she's gone, if you control your mind, she's gone now. She's gone now, I'm going to miss her. That's a shame. Off to the gym. You either control your mind or you don't. And all of these things stem from the same problem. It's something you can do. It's something that is learned. It's something that is taught. But it's something that I needed to survive. So for me, it's easy, right? It's all I've ever known. Right. But people have life now. They don't need it to survive, so they never develop the skill. That's just how it works. At the end of World War II, when men went to Europe and saw unspeakable horrors at the end of World War II, did they all come home and need therapy, or did they all come home and get back to life?
Get back to life.
Because everyone was taught to have a mind that they control because they needed it to survive. There's no one else. That's how life worked back then. Now imagine there was a war that big. Imagine the fucking therapy, the fallout, the fucking bullshit. No one would be able to fucking even just go back in. And I'm not saying they didn't see bad things. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's fucking horrible. But that's how it works. That's life. Like I've seen shit. Like we've all had our trauma. You have to get through it. You either let it destroy you or let it build you.
Have you ever been in love before?
Completely. I believe in love. I believe in love. I believe in men and women being in love. I believe in finding a woman and loving her with all my heart. I'm not gonna let her fucking take the piss out of me. I'm not gonna let her walk over my standards or my boundaries. I'm a man. I love you with all my heart. And I said you're not going to the club with your girls. I wanna go. Cool, then we're over. And I will love you while I don't see you. I might still love you a little while, but fuck you. That's the line. You overstepped the line, goodbye. That's life. I can love a bitch and ignore her texts. Watch me. I can be head over heels in love and still ignore her ass for breaking my rules. Because I set the rules because I'm a man. It's my world. You step into my world. I don't step into your world. You step into my world. You're never going to win 100% of the time. You might love a bitch and lose her. Cool, but you might love a bitch and keep her. If I let her go to the club with her girls all the time, how long is it until she meets a new dude and cheats on me anyway? Sooner or later. You're going to lose her anyway, so why not lose her as a man sticking to your fucking guns instead of losing her 7 months later behind your back? Stick up for your fucking self. But this is it. But people are so scared of the emotions. That's all it is. No one's going to shoot them in the head. They're scared of the emotions of missing her. You're a full-grown man. You're scared of some emotions. Sit in bed and be sad and fucking play your chess and go to the gym and be sad and lift your weights and be sad for a while and do your shit till you're not sad anymore. The fuck? You're scared of emotions to the point you let a bitch run your fucking life? It's insane. And this is the world we're in today. You have to get rich now. This is what I don't understand. Oh, I lack motivation, but you don't have time. You have to get rich now. If you're a man and you're not trying to become rich and powerful, I don't know what the you're doing with your time. If you're a man and you're not motivated to do anything it takes to get into the winner's circle, because it's about 50 people on the planet, the main characters. If you're not dedicated, you don't have the motivation, if you're not prepared to do whatever it takes to get to the top, I don't know what the you're doing with your life. But I promise you, although the climb is difficult, it's arduous, yeah, sure. It's going to hurt on the way up, but it's worth it.
I realized I had to get rich when I was 16 years old. I've told this story before, but I was walking to college with 3 of my friends and a guy burnt past in a red Ferrari. And I said to my friends while we were walking, how does this man have 300,000 pounds for a car when none of our families even have cars? Back then, the world was different. It wasn't like it is now. When I was 16, you didn't see money. I didn't see money. I didn't have the internet. I didn't see private jets. I didn't know Monaco. I didn't know Saint-Tropez was a place. I didn't know about girls on yachts. I didn't know about anything. I'm growing up in England completely flat broke. And the first time I had access visually to money, I knew I couldn't live as a second-class citizen any longer. I make all of this clear to people, and I say that money is a competency test. You simply need to want it. If you want it, you're going to get it. But you're not going to get anything in this life you do not want. The cocaine-addicted hooker addict wants money for cocaine and hookers. That's why he's richer than you. The crack addict needs money for crack. That's how he manages to get some new money every day with no job. You don't want it enough. If you want to get rich, I absolutely guarantee you will get rich. You have the entire world